First of all, I don't have any answers, and you know that. So all I'm going to do is share some thoughts and some specifics about the background of some of these artists that we're going to talk about today. But everything was picked because I have heard over the years, my kid can do this, and this probably is the premier work where I have heard that statement. And I'll tell you how the museum was able to acquire this. Our director, Tracy Atkinson, had seen a show of Ellsworth Kelly in New York and had come home and said to Mrs. Bradley, "Would you please go and see this new show?" So Mrs. Bradley did, and she went into the gallery. She saw this painting, and for some reason, this is the one she wanted. Well, you can just imagine what her friends thought. Why would she want to buy this? So over the years, some of the things I've heard are, well, all color comes from 3 colors, right? And so how nice to reduce this kind of minimal shape and color statement to red, yellow, and blue, because from red, yellow, and blue, we get everything. Then when you go to the library and you read about Mr. Kelly as a young man, this should come as no surprise. He was training his eye, and he was an outdoorsman, and he was a bird watcher. Was I surprised to read his first major influence was John James Audubon? Yes! I love it! I see it now! I do see it! I do! Those beautiful birds, and many of them are 3 colors. Think about that. He was drafted to go into the war during World War II, and he requested to be in the camouflage regiment. So this camouflage battalion was mostly made up of, surprise, artists. A lot of how they taught them was the way they taught at the Bauhaus in Germany about the elements of color and shape. This helps me a little bit rethink how I approach and judge this. And when it's reduced to this simple triptych, we have to stretch. I'll be honest, we have to stretch. But just think of cardinals, canaries, and bluebirds. Okay? Okay. Sometime, if you're in the museum and you have time, just come in here and sit down and listen to the comments when they come in and see this painting. It's really wonderful. It's particularly wonderful when the mothers and the fathers try to explain it to the child. So Tracy had sent me to New York City to visit 63 galleries. And one of the galleries that I went into was a famous gallery by the name of Leo Castelli, who was one of the deans of American and European sort of cutting edge lunatic fringe artists. And there was a show that had opened the night before, and it was the work of Cy Twombly, and they, the New York Times called it the blackboard paintings. And everything in the small gallery space were these wonderful paintings of blackboards with chalk. And for some reason, my eye caught this one. Most people, like I did, think it is a blackboard. Surprise, it's not. What is it? Oil on canvas with just a little touch of crayon, white crayon, to make that sort of doodling. I was literally fooled that this was a slate with powder dust, chalk dust, and I never would have guessed that was crayon. Never! I didn't even guess it after they told me. So right away, my admiration for this artist went up 190 degrees, because this takes talent to fool your eye. Artists love to trick us. They love to manipulate us. They love to play with us. And Twombly's playing with us. And boy, is he good at it. And talking about minimalism, the ability to reduce something to this kind of form, I think was just sheer genius. Sheer genius. Now, it's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. Don't beat yourselves up. You know, if you don't like it, it's okay. But don't make my life miserable because you don't like it, because I love it. Okay, can we do one more? Let's go to Agnes Martin. Woo-hoo-hoo. What a woman. I had the privilege of spending a day with her in New Mexico, and it gave me great pleasure because for some reason this painting talked to me too, big time. It is such a tough work. And I remember there were lots of tears by the president, who thought she was going to go down in history for having bought the worst painting in America. When I met Agnes, she was in her 90s, and she died recently. She died 2004. And it was fun to see her studio. She lived a very monastic life. She was very into Asian thought, religion, lifestyle. And I went into her studio, and the first thing I noticed on the wall where she painted had a stepladder, and leading to the floor, all these vertical drippings of very beautiful colors, soft colors, but vertical drippings. And I'm going, I've never seen an Agnes Martin vertical. It's only horizontal. And so, you know me, hoof and mouth disease. Miss Martin, I noticed all your paint is vertical. Do you paint this way? She said, yes, you see, I'm only 4'10". I lie about my height. I say I'm 5 feet. She's 4 feet 10, and she gets up on the ladder, and she said, the only way I can do it is to do it this way and control it. So the drips go down on the wall and on the floor, but everything is hung horizontally. And one of the things Miss Martin noticed was, she said, you talk a lot, don't you, Barbara? I said, yeah, I do. And she said, I don't like talk in my studio. I don't allow people to talk in here. She would hate what I'm doing with you right now. She said, I don't like people to talk in my shows or about my work. I want everyone to bring to it what they will bring to it. If they don't want to look at it, that's fine. But don't tell anybody anything. So I got this cockamamie idea in the middle of the night. I do my best work in the middle of the night. And I thought, let's ask Agnes to read one of her poems in front of her painting. And this is what she led off with. I can see humility, delicate and white. It is satisfying just by itself. And trust, absolute trust, a gift, a very precious gift. I would rather think of humility than anything else. Humility, the beautiful daughter. She cannot do either right or wrong. She does not do anything. All of her ways are empty, infinitely light and delicate. She treads on an even path, sweet, smiling, uninterrupted, free. That's Agnes Martin. Oh, I got goosebumps. Good.